Hello, you football people. It's Harry James. This is the post-game report for the Oklahoma Sooners, TCU Horned Frogs. If you guys watched my pregame, my pick'em contest from last week, you know I knew that this thing would be a fight. This is a pesky TCU team that's only lost 2 games, or I guess now 3 games. All 3 teams are have a combined 1 loss, and that's to Georgia. The 3rd loss for those TCU Horned Frogs came in Norman as the Sooner Schooner fights off the pesky Frogs of TCU with a final score of 17 TCU to the 20 of Oklahoma. The statistics for this ball game, the football Blaker was pretty good again. 152 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions against probably the best overall defense he's probably going to face. Notre Dame is just big and nasty up front. This is probably the best overall defense that he's faced so far, and he didn't turn the ball over and still threw for over 150 yards. Pretty good. Taj Boykin, he also had a pretty good night, 166 yards, yet, however, he did not have a touchdown or interception either. Passing touchdown, that is. Rushing the ball, the leading rusher for Oklahoma, Brennan Clay, 9 carries, 111 yards, and 1 big touchdown running the game. Trevon Boykin, 12 carries, 35 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. The leading receiver for the Oklahoma Sooner half of the team was Sterling Shepard. He had 5 catches for 37 yards and 0 interceptions. Ty Selena did the work receiving for TCU, 6 catches, 38 yards, and 0 touchdowns. The nasty, nasty defense that was played last night was led, at least by Oklahoma standards, by Frank Shannon. 9 total tackles and 0 interceptions, 0 forced fumbles, and 0 fumble recoveries. For TCU, Chris Hackett did the defensive dirty work for them. 11 total tackles, once again, 0 picks, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered. The kicking job was pretty good on both sides also. Michael Honeycutt, 2 for 2, a long of 39 yards and a short of 37 yards. The rest of the scoring for Oklahoma was done. That was it. The 2 field goals. For TCU, Jaden Oberkram did a lot of the work on the kicking. He did 1 for 1 for 25-yard field goal. Well, if you're going to have field goals, you got to have punts too, right? Jed Barnett, pretty good again for Oklahoma. 7 attempts, 36.6 in average, a long of 49. And 2 of his punts hit the 20-yard line, or inside the 20-yard line, Ethan Perry did a lot of the punting work for TCU. 9 tries at that. 43.4 punts in average. 52 was his long. 4 of his laid inside the 20-yard line. The scoring in this game, the first half went to Oklahoma, including a long of 39 yards for a field goal for Michael Honeycutt in this game. It was hit with 2:45 left in the first quarter. 3-0 Oklahoma as they take the lead in the game. Jump ahead with me to the second quarter. 2:29 left. The Sooners add on to the 3-0 lead, bumping it up to a 10-0 lead by a Trey Millard 8-yard touchdown run for the Sooners. 2:29 left in the second quarter. The final game of the second quarter, Michael Honeycutt hits another field goal, 37 yards, 0.00 time left in the second quarter, 13-0 Sooners at the break. Then TCU got on their scoring streak. Jaden Obercam hit a 25-yard field goal with 3:22 left in the third quarter, knocking off the lead 13-3 now, but Oklahoma's still favored in the ball game. Then Trevon Boykin, a 2-yard touchdown, his first of the night for TCU. With 8 seconds left in the third quarter, 13-10, but Oklahoma's still favored in the game. Stayed pretty tight within the fourth quarter until it was bumped back once again up to 2 scores when Brendan Clay of the University of Oklahoma broke off a career-long at OU 76-yard touchdown run with 4:37 left, adding to the Oklahoma lead. It's now 20-10 Oklahoma. But Trevon Boykin gets a 5-yard touchdown run in his own right to clean up the ball game a little bit with 2:26 left, making it 20-17 Oklahoma. And that's your ball game. 2017 was the final score. Oklahoma ended up, after that kickoff, getting the football to Blake Bell, and they ran the clock out. Hype of the night was the 74-yard touchdown run with 4:37 left in the fourth quarter by Brendan Clay. Once again, I say that was a career long for him, and that really pushed him over the 100-yard mark. Defensively, just before that drive, Trevon Boykin tried to find Brandon Carter. It was an incomplete pass, but it was tipped by Oklahoma. Dominique Alexander was in good formation, number 42. He got up there and kind of tipped the ball and made it a little bit even of a harder catch for Brandon Carter. He ended up not making that catch. 3 main goals for this team. Offensively, just don't make mistakes. No picks, no fumbles. Great job, boys. I'm proud of you guys. I'm so proud of you guys. Still another game with no picks and no interceptions. Good job, Blake. Good job, offense. Defense, keep plays in front of you. It was one big play by TCU, and but for the most part, that came in the second quarter. They were trying to. It was a one-score game. After that, though, they let on the onside kick. That's what helped. Or it was actually a swib kick, onside kick, swab kick, swib kick. That shortened the field for them. But still, I mean, basically our defense was out there the entire third quarter, from about, I'm going to say about the 10-minute mark till the end. I mean, Trevon Boykin scored with 8 seconds left in the quarter. So that really helped TCU. It really showed what Oklahoma was made out of. They played really well. The final score there, it really looked like Oklahoma was kind of like in a prevent defense. Like, I mean, they knew TCU might score, and they kind of predicted them to score, but they were going to get the ball back. So they weren't, I'm not going to say that they weren't too worried, if you will, but they didn't look like they were worried. And the fact is that a lot of our players on that particular drive, a lot of those guys were injured on that at the end when that prevent defense came in. A lot of our guys were out. Cass Everett was in the game at this time. Corey Nelson's backup was in. So there were a lot of backup guys in at that point in time. Let's see what else. The third of the goals, the special teams. Michael Honeycutt played very well again. Michael actually 2 for 2 on field goals for Michael Honeycutt. that in his first, in the first necessarily big quote unquote conference weekend for the Big 12. So a lot of teams have only played like 3 or 4 games in, and Michael Honeycutt is now. He's above Timmy Duncan, who's a Super Bowl champion, and the toe, Tim Lasher. He did it again. He's awesome. He's great. He's doing a great job thus far at Oklahoma, and only in his junior year, he's already broken that record for field goals in a career. On the other side of the special teams coin, Jed Barnett did a great job again tonight. 2 punts within the 20-yard line. Good job, buddy. Trying to keep it deep. And Nick Hodgson. Hodgson now does a lot of the kickoffs. He did a lot of the kickoffs last year to where we didn't have as many touchbacks. Now we're getting more touchbacks. He did another fantastic job again. With that being said, it is time to get you a fried Dr. Pepper, go get you a corny dog, and head on down to Dallas, folks. It wasn't easy, but the Sooners fought off the pesky Horned Frogs 17-20 and set up a date in the State Fairgrounds Park between Oklahoma and Texas. Stay tuned for the pregame. This has been the Oklahoma postgame show between TCU and Oklahoma. One final time, your final score from Norman. TCU 17, Oklahoma 20. Boomer Sooner, everybody.